Technical difficulties, to say the least. The plan was to play a couple of songs and then turn out to just DJ in 30 minutes. But that means that we have, or that we're ready for the conversation topic: urgency of financial literacy in our community. But before that, before I even introduce my guest, let me say a big thank you to my guest for she brought me some good books, 2 books: My Dream and Chaos of Brexit. If you don't know who I'm talking about Mrs. Meverly Adjhei Benjamin. And I was actually thrown off because I did know she was an author, but I had no clue which books she had written and when they were published. No information on that. So literally I wasn't expecting this at all. But in all honesty, I'm very grateful for the books, and apparently there are more books on the shelf. And this is so funny. Last week we had an author. This week Meverly's here with books. I actually think I should write a book. So definitely I know who to go to. And actually, since she has her own publisher as well, maybe I can actually propose my idea of what I want to write about. And who knows, I'm just speaking into existence. All in all, this is African Focus. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. I know we have listeners in Canada, we have listeners in the US, Breukelen, where was it? I think we had Utrecht, Hilversum, we had listeners. We have, of course, our Ghanaian listeners. So a good day to all of you. Hope you guys had a great week. Welcome. This is the show of African Focus, where we share African excellence, where we celebrate and share African stories as well on High Radio, the most dynamic satellite radio station here in the Netherlands. My name is Donnie Addison, your host, and happy to bring you another episode of African Focus. So without further ado, let me introduce our beloved guest, Mrs. Meverly Adjhei. And let's see if your mic is working.
Hello.
Hello. Can you pull the mic closer to you so we can?
Okay.
Yes.
That's good.
Yeah.
Or a bit closer.
Yes. That will be fine. All right.
Okay.
I can hear you. Miss Meverly, Mrs. Meverly. Why do I think you? Somehow I thought you might be single or something like that. Don't know if that's the case.
I just got married. I got married on the 24th of December 2021. So.
My goodness. Okay, hold on.
You're
so
pardoned.
I have a plan for this interview, right? Or this conversation. All of a sudden, I'm, getting this angles, this side. Okay, let's start with the marriage. Okay, first let's start with you. How are you?
I'm doing great. Thank you. Thank you for having me, by the way.
You're welcome. I mean, it's about time we've had you on the show, like physically here in the studio.
Yeah.
How's your Sunday been?
It's been good. It's been quiet.
Quiet?
Yeah, but it's been good.
What does a quiet Sunday looks like for you?
A normal Sunday for me is just go to church, come back home, and relax. That's a quiet Sunday for me.
So is that what you did today?
No, I didn't.
What did you do today?
Today I was home. I didn't go to church today. Prepared for the interview of today and did some small research on some businesses I was working on.
So even on your Sunday?
That's on my Sunday.
When they said God rested you, I'm like,
rest.
I'm resting, but I'm still looking for these opportunities,
No, it was rest. Sometimes you need to define rest. Well, this gives me rest.
Okay.
I don't know about you, though.
This gives you rest?
It gives me rest. It gives me peace.
Wow. Oh, well, okay, so what have you been up to lately?
Lately, since October I enrolled for my PhD in banking and finance, And what am I doing? I'm doing a research how to combat money laundering in London banks and all the territories of London that comes with it. So that's what's keeping me busy. Next to that, I wanted to redefine my company a bit. It's not a bit, that was my initial plan, to work with institutions and financial services institutions with my consultancy. But then the corona came and all those kind of things. So we didn't foresee that, but I could make the switch very fast because of my background, law and there.
Yeah.
So now I'm back on track with it, and I am now doing freelance jobs for a financial institution. So currently I'm working as a project manager for ICS in the money laundry.
Yeah.
Setting up how to process the right, putting the right system up there so that we can combat money laundering.
Cool. So what made you actually decide to do a PhD in
what is very important for me that is I specialize in the area I love and I'm good at, and I will,
which is the money laundering area.
That's the money laundering area.
But then from the
because you are in the field, you know how to money launder.
Yeah, actually.
But I also know how not to money launder. And I know how to do in between as well. But that's how you specialize in those things. So I will not advise. But though one of my last trainings, one of the questions that came, how do I get rich? I said, okay, do you want to do it at a good way? Or you want to do it at a bad way? So I went in between. I showed them how you can get rich and still abide by the rules and not having a lot of capital to start doing a business or so.
Which is something you have to share with us here on the show today.
Today, really?
How to get rich legally.
Let's do that for another time. How to get rich legally. Let's do that for another time. Okay. It's a whole session.
Is it?
Yeah, it is. But it's doable.
Okay. Your books. You gave me 2 books. Yes. My Dream. Let's start with that one.
Yeah.
So is this an autobiography or?
It is kind of an autobiography about me, but what I didn't want it to do is that it's all about me, because I wanted to pass on a message to the world. And I did that by inviting my own story so that you have a feeling about what I was talking about.
Yeah.
So it was basically about having a dream, but getting to the dream and having the dream and your position currently, the stops in between, the hardship you go through, and then finally succeeding and get to where you want to be. It's a hell of a journey.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
and what is one of the things you really like, something practical that you touch upon in this book?
In this book is how I motivated myself actually to get up and swallow the pain and the hardship and, see it at the brighter side. It's a part of experience you gained and moving on in life.
Okay. And
using all kinds of motivational quotes that helped me along the way. Some things I created myself and stuff. I was quite hard on myself because, I had a dream and I'm not going to give up just because of some circumstances.
That's a burden for visionaries. Like, it's great to set goals or have this idea or this imagination. But then it's also a burden because they keep saying this. It's also in a lot of motivational speakers is the burden of you understanding your dream is upon you and you alone, because only you can see it and feel it and understand what it's like. No one else can understand your dream until you have manifested that.
It's true, and that's why I didn't rely upon anybody in my community. I just did what I wanted to do, and whilst doing that, you know, you will have a lot of people biting or say you can't make it. But I close my eyes and my ears of what they thought of me or what they thought I couldn't, because I'm not doing it for you at the end of the day.
Right.
I'm doing it for myself.
For yourself. And what is your biggest drive?
My biggest drive, you know, talking about the biggest drive, yeah, is like when you get it, you're there, you're done, or no. The sky's the limit. So my biggest drive is, you know, seeing people succeed.
Okay.
And being meaningful for others. And that will never stop.
That's a hell of a drive.
Yeah, it is.
But it's good because it's not static. It's not like
Nah.
when I become a millionaire or something.
I'm done. No.
No.
The sky is the limit, and the sky doesn't have the limit, so it's endless.
Amazing. And the other book, The Chaos of Brexit.
Yeah.
You know, how chaotic the Brexit might have been. I've had, let's say, little and very little, let's say, actually an introduction to geopolitics. So even before the Brexit thing came out, I had already understood the geopolitical implications and of it, right? And I actually thought it made sense for for England or UK to have a Brexit. It's good. They're actually setting themselves up for maybe 30 years to 50 years from now. What made you want to write this book?
The chaos of Brexit was actually an example of what I really wanted to say in the book, the message that I wanted to bring over to the world. It is more about how I'm not a politician, how leaders, world leaders, do certain things. And how we as citizens choose our leadership. Right. Do we choose leaders just because they are charismatic or they are looking very nice and they talk very well? Or do we choose leaders because they do have the knowledge and the wisdom to lead a country? And I found that the chaos of Brexit, that whole process of the Brexit, is a good example. So it is called The Chaos of Brexit, but the undertitle is The Majority Carries the Vote. Sometimes we follow our sheeps instead of using our own brains and the knowledge and wisdom that is given to us. So do we follow or we choose?
For this Brexit in particular, because I remember when they did the voting, which was really good. Actually, they allowed the public to vote for or against Brexit. And I remember it was, I think, 51-49.
Do you believe it?
No, I actually don't believe it, but
okay.
I mean that's the numbers they came up with, as in it's half and half.
It's true.
Well, don't you believe those numbers?
It's not that I don't believe the numbers, but it's a system. It's democracy. And they are doing it just because they want to invite the people to give them their opinion. Because
the power's not there, right?
No.
I understand.
And if they didn't, it would be something else in the country. So it's like what the Netherlands did when the Netherlands were having in the Dutch they say toetreden naar het Europese Unie, when they were going to be part of the European Union.
Yeah.
We Dutch people, we didn't want to do that. And we did this whole forum. But at the end of the day, Mark Rutte, our current president, minister president, didn't listen to the people, and he just entered to the European Union. So I think it's just a system just to prove the democracy and that everything is all right and that the people do have a voice. Well, at the end of the day, it's politics.
Nice. It is politics. Would you have become a good politician? Would you be a good politician?
As a matter of fact, I'm even been asked to join a party. Well, I said no.
No interest. Why not?
Not at this current stage. I'm not where I want to be, and I don't think I have the leadership skills yet and the knowledge and wisdom to be in a party to lead a country. I think I need to have more life experience.
Yeah. Okay.
to be able to be part of a party. And it's not just because I'm a black woman, have a lot to say. So you should vote for me. No, I'm not there yet.
Which is really good. Which is good. Well, thank you for the books once again, and I'm going to read them, and I'm looking forward to the information that's within this book, especially the My Dream. I just finished reading a book by Malcolm Gladwell on Outliers, which is basically looking at the formula to success, where the conventional theory or formula is a little bit of talent, hardship, hard work, success. But apparently that's not even the case. It's more likely a lots of combination of good lucks and being at the right points at the right time and opportunities that makes one successful, not necessarily it's necessary that you have hard work and a little bit of talent, but he mentions that for the greatest people, or for the people who've really become successful, they became successful due to the opportunities that they really had. And some of these cases where like just practical matters, as in, just simple matters, as in the year that you were born, that in his analysis also led to, for instance, Bill Gates becoming the who he is right now, like with Microsoft. So that's a whole another theory perspective that I'm actually really trying to figure out myself. I say, how do we become successful? And
I think success does not only come about having the opportunities. It's the search to become great. When you're in the search or in that path of what you want, the opportunities will come on its way.
But you would have a lot of people who do say that they want it, or they working hard towards it.
Are you really doing it, or are you just blabbering around?
I actually believe a lot of people are actually doing it, or they're not doing anything lesser than the other person. But somehow, some people become successful and some don't.
I think success is also about having the right strategy and the methods. You can want to have too many things in one time, or you can spread it out. We're going to talk about financial literacy, and I'm also going to outline it based on the questions you were asked. But success is, and getting there, you need to have a plan. It's all planning. You need to have a budget. And most of the people who do not succeed is either bad luck. There is bad luck. Let's accept that there is bad luck. There is bad luck, but also you need to have the right strategy and method. When having a strategy, you don't only look at the positive sides of things, you also look at the negative sides. That is in our African community sometimes a problem. We don't look at the negatives. It should all be good, and then they will say, "Oh, nyamebe," those kind of things. But God will help those who help themselves, and you need to be ready for the storms of life.
Oh, well said.
It's not always rosary, so you need to be prepared for all things.
Okay, well, good, amazing. We'll get more into that when we touch the financial literacy in our community. If you just joined in, I'm here speaking with Mrs. Meverly Benjamin. We will in a bit start our conversation in financial literacy in our community, whether that's African or the Dutch community, wherever that may be applied to. But first, I also still want to know how you survive in this pandemic.
When starting my business, I had something to fall back on, and that has helped me through the pandemic. And because also I'm not only a business consultant, I'm also a legal advisor. My first degree is law, and I did my master's also in law, but also in governance and finance. So I can go both ways. So if companies do fall because of bankruptcy, I still can fall back on my legal expertise and advise people on migration matters, family law, contract law, arbitration, all those kind of things. So that kept me going in that time of the pandemic. Now, I believe the pandemic is here to stay, so I made the choice that, I'm not going to stay in this level of work because that's not the main reason I started my company. I want to go back to the main reason. That being said, that's why I wrote in a PhD and trying to look how can I sustain my business without overworking myself.
Yeah.
Because that's with having a law firm, you kind of overwork yourself because your cases can be pending for a year. Yeah. I have a case that's pending for 1.5 years now, so it can take a while. And you got paid 1.5 years ago, so you have to actually see this case through to the end. So that being said, I was like, no, I need to go back to my business consultancy. That's the reason I'm doing my PhD. So I made a switch, and in the beginning of the pandemic, if you call me, you have a legal issue, I will help you straight away. But now I will have a consult with you, advise you, and during the advice, I will tell you if I can take the job on or not. Okay. But even in the advice I give to you, you can do it on yourself. But you have people who are not that well in the law, or they're having problems with the language and stuff. So then I will redirect you to a colleague in the field. Yeah.
Oh, amazing. Good. Well, good to know that you've been holding up pretty well in the during this pandemic. This PhD, how long is it going to take?
It's going to take 4 years.
4 years. Yeah, it's going to be in London.
I'm doing in London in distance, so gonna travel a lot.
Yeah.
But I did that with my masters as well. I did my masters in the UK, so I traveled up and down during that period.
And then with this, with the PhD, are you doing it with other colleagues, let's say with other PhD candidates, or is it going to be just you doing your research?
Yeah, it's just me doing the research in alignment with the rules and regulation of the Wolverhampton University. Yeah. So it's just me.
Okay, well, I wish you lots of great motivation, and because I know, PhDs is something that is definitely going to take up some time, energy, focus, all of that. But somehow I feel very confident in the fact that you know how to balance it out.
Yeah.
Or because I know you just spoke on strategy and plan.
Yeah.
I know you have a plan for it, like a 5-year plan.
I do.
Right. So
if you follow me on LinkedIn, I just wrote down that I finished my outline. So my table of content, it's not advisable to have already a table of content ready, but because I'm a person, I want to have something out there so that I can stick to it and have the strategy and planning. Like, okay, this month is for chapter 1. Chapter 1 is quite easy because if you're getting into the university, you need to do a proposal. So that is basically your chapter 1. Right. So I'm going to use this month to do my chapter 1, and chapter 2 going to take maybe 3 months and doing some background research and all those kind of things. So I have planned it out for coming 4 years, planned it with events that might happen in the company, being a mom, being a wife, you plan everything. So yeah, I put it all in my strategy.
Is that your greatest let me say, skill that you have, your ability to plan time management,
I think the greatest ability I have is I foresee things. like I have of way of seeing things coming in the future. Like, okay, if I take a decision like this today, it will affect me in 5 years time. Insight, they call it. So that is my greatest ability, and that's what is keeping me and other business owners. I have advised along the line, you know, when I'm doing a proposal for you or I'm advising you, then I will make sure that I give you insight of things that if you make me do this, it will affect you in coming 7 years, or it will do this to you.
And of course, when they happen, they look at you like, "Oh, you said so."
You said so. Yeah, that's what I always do. And sometimes I also write it down because, for instance, I can get a certain a simple thing, a certain toeslag, benefit for you, but this benefit will affect you in 2 years to come. Oh, it doesn't matter, I need the money now. Okay, no problem. But I will write it down and make you sign it, because I don't want you to come back to me after 2 years telling me that you are the one who did this to me. So yeah, I have insight in things.
Oh wow, that is great. That's definitely very important. And I think you were touching on it earlier when you said in our formula to success, if you put too much on your plate, yeah, that is also an hindrance for attaining the success.
Just a step by step.
I mean, for me, one of those things, indeed, I have a lot of in my mind, and I kind of like, I don't plan, like draw, write things, and I think a lot of creatives have this as well. Is, you know what you want, and you probably have an idea how to do it, but we always run up short or this and that, and it just doesn't work.
It's true, it doesn't.
It just doesn't work.
I have a creative mind as well, and the moment I am wandering around and imagining all kinds of things, it will never happen. I need to write it down, have a plan, and strategize to get what I want.
Yeah. So what made you then sit and be like, hey, it's time to, because it's a skill you had to learn some way, somehow.
Yeah.
Right?
Sometimes the hard way.
Yeah. So what was the hard way? Because I want to know, so I can also teach myself that.
The hard way is that at the end of the day, I didn't have anything. You know, I thought I would do this and do that and got married, and at the end of the day, I lost it all. So it's quite of the hard way, but I learned to strategize and to plan everything very well along the line. So I fell down, I stood up and do it again, or I did it again, but this time with experience. So
amazing. I mean, you answered with that last sentence. You actually answered a question that popped into my mind. I said, how do you deal with failures on the way, right? You just get back up and then
do it with experience.
Do it again.
It's not a failure, it's a lesson learned.
It's not a loss. The L is not a loss. It's a lesson learned. On that note, I mean, let's take a quick break before we jump into the topic of today, which is the financial literacy in our community. If you just tuned in on our Facebook or even via our website, I'm here talking with Mrs. Meverly Benjamin, and we're about to dive into our conversation on financial literacy. But first, here is some music. We are about to start the talk about financial literacy. Myself, I studied financial management, international financial management, and some way, somehow, right, I realized, and it's funny because even myself studying finance, I was like, I'm learning international financing, but somehow I cannot even manage my own pocket, right? Because I was getting bills, and then the bills will add up, they will go here and there. What is wrong with me? It's not that I don't understand the purpose of money, but I only understand the purpose of money when it comes to corporations, as in how they want to deal with money and how money is structured within for them. But I was oblivious to how a person like myself would just simple manage like simple zakgeld, or I had a part-time job, what to do with it or how to work around with it. But this touches on the financial literacy that I had in my upbringing, right? So, and I know this is something you've been dealing with. This is something what you address within your consultancy to individuals as well, to corporations, right? So what is the main message for you whenever you get to touch on the topic financial literacy?
Whenever I'm talking about financial literacy, it's basically that I'm saying have a plan and budget. Very easy, because it starts with a plan. On year basis, you're allowed to have 2,000 euros on spending on clothes. But if you spend all your money in January, you have your birthday going on, you have a wedding going on. In December, there is Christmas, but you spend all your money in January. So it is all about having a plan and knowing where your money is going. If you know you're going to have 24,000 euros on year basis and you spend 10% of that 24,000 on clothing, you need to stick with it. Mm-hmm. And then you need to know, okay, if it is 12 months, that means I have 200 euros on clothes every month. So what am I going to do? Okay, am I going to buy everything on sale? So everything for the whole year? Or am I going to spend it monthly? Or I'm just going to blow the money? So those are questions you need to ask yourself. And the most important thing is having miscellaneous, putting money aside.
What is that? What is having miscellaneous? Who is that?
Having miscellaneous is like having a sum of money away,
a jar or something.
A jar away for events unseen, sudden death, or a wedding of your sister, or there is you lost your job or something like that. You need to have money aside for that, so that you can fall back on it. So sometimes if you're changing jobs, you're not going to get paid. You need to have this gap of like 6 weeks. So you need to be able to hold yourself for like 6 weeks or up to 3 months. So that is what you do with miscellaneous. So the first year, putting that strategy out there is quite hard because you have nothing to fall on. So it's like, okay, what am I going to do? Am I going to save up so that in 2023, I am going to start well? So this year, I'm going to be like, I'm not going to do any shopping. I'm not going to do anything. I'm going to save it all up so that in 2023, I have a good way of going. Or you can say, something. Instead of spending 2,400 for this year, I'm going to spend 1,200 on clothes and put the 1,200 away for next year, so that next year I add the 1,200 and I'm starting well. So it's all about planning, strategy, having methods, and knowing where you want to be in 5 years' time.
I'm already learning stuff. Okay, great. This financial literacy thing, would you say that some communities suffer from it more than other communities?
Yes, I will. Unfortunately, yes.
So then, which group or which community would you say is most affected by lack of financial literacy, for example?
I will not say it's communities. I think it's lack of wisdom and knowledge of how to do it.
On an individual level, or on a, let's say, group? Or
I will say it on a group. Okay. Because I don't want to say that, it is the Nigerians or it is the Ghanaians, because there are certain groups of Nigerians that are doing well. And there are certain groups of Ghanaians that are doing well. But I think because of some people not having the right knowledge and wisdom to know such, they lack. I come from a background. My mom is not a planner. My mom is not a strategist. She doesn't believe in any kind of method. She's like, I got money and let's spend it. It's like, there is no plan attached. But I'm more, because, I had the schooling and I had the chance to know such, I'm not like that. I'm the total opposite. And, as months became years, my mom thought, oh yeah, you are right. So the wisdom you gain at school and the education and being around people who strategize and plan and budget and have plans 5 years to come and 10 years to come. If you put that into practice, then I think people in your community will learn from that.
Right. That's true. However, within the African community, for instance, I know that we're not good with money. Somehow it works against us. It's like the bills are too high for us, it seems. But then I look around and I'm like, wait, the bills are high, I understand, but they're not higher than, for instance, my Turkish classmates or whatnot. But I never hear them talk or speak about the money problems like my mom does, right? So
it's true. And
what can you say about that?
On that aspect, has to do with strategy. I was even having a conversation, I think it was yesterday evening. I had a Turkish friend and her dad was the only person having income. It's not higher than my mama's or something, but because they strategize and they budget very, very well, they're in a tight budget, tight planning. The dad has a 3-story building in Turkey. So how does a Turkish man with the same income can build a 3-story building in Turkey and you can't? And I saw that it has to do with lack of planning, communication, and having insight in the country they are living. Because if you do not understand the language, or you can't read very well, or you are not that educated, then setting laws you don't know how to fill your taxes to get the most out of it, those kind of things. So it has to do of one, not being able to understanding the language and the culture or the country you're living in, and two, I think missing out on the strategy, the method, and sticking to it. That's the main problem, because there is always something with our Ghanaian community. Oh, my grandmother died. Oh, the sister of my sister, that sister, the outdooring. And if you have 5 orderings going on in a month, and you have miscellaneous, that's what miscellaneous actually does. So if you have that, then you'll be like, okay, I got 200 euros on miscellaneous. There are 5 orderings. Now everybody's going to get 40. I'm sorry. That's what I can't miss. But that's the problem with the African community sometimes. It's like, the pomp is like, no, I can't give 40 euros. It doesn't look like me because I am a high-ranked Ghanaian or something like that, I need to give more. But at the end of the day, your bills are piling up.
But this is also something that is affecting, let's say, the expenditure of African families. Is, church. And then they have this offering.
Yep.
And then suddenly another offering, or this thing will come up where the church, you can donate, you can give, you give if you can.
Yes.
But somehow this is still someone spending money.
It is. But let's see it on a different aspect here.
Which one?
What if you have a business? That month you got 1,000 euros. Are you gonna donate all the 1,000 euro to a goodwill
No.
or foundation? Will you do that?
I don't think so.
Okay, so why would you do it with your income?
Because it's for the good cause.
No, but the foundation was also for the good cause, isn't it? It's the same.
It is.
Because,
I understand. I get it.
Association, foundation, and churches, they're all in one kind of group. They're one category. It's all doing something good.
Yeah.
And a church is actually a church building, and the people in it, they create the church.
Right.
So, okay, the church is doing a fundraising. You have miscellaneous of 100 euros. You have 4 orderings to go, 2 funerals, and a church. Can you do that? No. So you need to weigh the options. You need to weigh the option, like, if I continue doing this about 5 years, I'm now 60 years. I haven't done anything for myself when I reach my pension age. At 65, I won't be able to work anymore because I don't have the strength. At 65, I'm going to drop back with 50% of my income. How am I going to manage this? Your lifestyle won't help you. So you need to change your mindset and see, like, I don't have to prove anything to anybody. It's my life. And when I'm 65 and I'm hungry and I don't have food or I can't pay my rent, when I come to you, you won't pay my rent or my mortgage for me. So you need to make the options, or you need to make the choices. You need to make the choices now.
Is this the essence of financial literacy?
Yes. Choices. And do not get yourself pressured.
Right.
I'm very known of that. But I don't care.
this message has to go to our African kitchens.
It's everywhere, not only
it has
African
to go
kitchens.
there.
No, even the youth is now doing it. John is wearing Gucci. I need to wear give me a
brand. I need to wear D squared.
Give me D square. I need to wear D square because if I do not wear it, I won't fit in.
Social pressure.
But
it's part of. Listen, okay. All right. Let me ask this: at what age do you think financial literacy is the most, let's say, crucial? Of importance.
I think when you are gonna hit 30, from 30 ongoing, life starts. Yeah, because when you're 30, you need to have something like, okay, this is gonna be my career. This is the path I'm going to, and you need to know, okay, about 20 years or 10 years, I need to have something because I'm going to get old. I'm gonna be expensive in the market because they expect that you have certain knowledge at that age.
Right.
So you need to have something, and at 40 you're gonna start frustrating if you have nothing going on. Yeah. At 40 you're gonna start frustrating, like, okay, I don't own a house, or you don't even have to own I don't even have a house. I'm living in someone's room or something like that. I'm renting a room. I don't have any savings. About 20 years there's a pension going on. I don't have wife there is absolute no plan. And you don't and you have lived a certain lifestyle, and
which had made you, let's say, in the time very happy because we were adventurous and this and that. You lived every day that like it's your last one, the YOLO motto.
But then at that point, and you start frustrating because you have nothing going on, and you're blaming the whole world of your failures,
failure or lack of future or vision or whatnot.
You didn't have a plan for your life. And that's where people get into all kinds of criminalities. Get into concluding on that aspect. So it's important, I think, from 30 ongoing, you really need to shape your life.
So that means that even before you hit 30, these are the conversations you should be having, right? Should start talking about the plan, or have the skill set of planning. Should understand what money can mean to you now and in the future. And we'll get into what you can do with money, saving or spending. You should also have the skill set, or the skill set of having what you were saying, having a goal, a perspective, a vision for yourself, how you want to see it. Because for those who want to live, take life as day by day thing, what happens is 10 years time you're still taking it day by day, but
whilst your friends have settled.
But and also within that, it's like you end up at a place where you probably did not imagine yourself to be in. Right? So you're saying before the age of 30, around the age of 30, the importance of financial literacy becomes life. Like it becomes real. If you're not ready for it, then you become very, let's say, unhappy with with life, right?
With life,
is that
yeah.
is that me
Yeah.
putting it in the right way?
Yeah, you will become like, okay, what next? What do I want? You don't, you need to
Discouraged.
shape your life, you know, you need to know like, okay, am I going this way or am I going that way? Will this help me or will this help me? You need to have like a certain way or an aim or a vision, how you see your life to be.
At the age of 19, or well, no, at the age of 16, I think I was working at the local supermarket, and then I was into buying sneakers. Luckily, what I never had is buying big brands like all of that. I never felt that kind of pressure. So, which is good. Very fortunate that I don't have that. But I was into sneakers like most people are with Jordans nowadays. You know, I want to collect Jordans. This and that. My thing was Air Force. So I'll own even 20 to even 30 pair of them.
You made them rich.
That was what I was doing with my money.
Yeah.
But at that age, you think if I would have had a good financial literacy or financial literate parents or household, that I would be making that kind of
Maybe you would be so creative because you're creative. Maybe you would have created your own kind of shoe.
because I actually do love sneakers, right?
Yeah. Why don't you make it your own? Because if you like investing in it, invest in your own. If you had parents, I don't know your parents, but for example, if you do had parents who are entrepreneurs and they want to make something out of everything, your parents might have advised you, instead of wasting all your money on the sneakers that on average base is like 100 euros, why don't you invest the 30 pairs, that's 3,000 euros, into a small company and start doing it yourself? If I was 18,
Yeah. If you were 18, yeah.
I would have worked so hard, saved the money. And, you know, back in that time when I was 18, things were so cheap. Yeah. Like the housing market was so cheap. You could have bought a house, a 2-bedroom house for 60,000 euros and stuff. Now a 2-bedroom house goes away for 250. So if if I had knew, or if my parents, you know, were entrepreneurs or business minded, you know, all the money I shoveled away doing unnecessary things, I would have invested in saving money into housing estates or something.
Let's talk about that, because I have a different philosophy when it comes to saving and spending, right? But before that, what is your take on like saving and spending?
Okay.
What is it to save and what is it to spend?
I don't save all my money and I don't spend all my money. Most of the times I divide my money into 3 or 4. 1 to spend, 1 to save, 1 to invest, and 1 just to be there, miscellaneous. So that's how I do with my money, because you cannot invest all your money, because some investments, they don't give returns ASAP, and saving all your money will not give you returns either. Spending all your money, you have nothing to fall back on, and having miscellaneous at the back of the corner. A month, or there could be a month that you don't spend anything on miscellaneous, and then you just save it up, or you bring it to your savings or something. So I divide my money into 4 categories. I do it with everything in my business and the household as well. I'm the one who goes around household money. Okay, we can do this, and this, and this, and that. So
okay, and then would you say, in case someone simply has, this is they divided in 3. So all right, this my bills, this is my income, 1/3 goes to my bills, or this part is going to my bills. This one is miscellaneous, just miscellaneous in case something happens, as I've learned from you. And then you have a bit where it's, we either going to save this money or we're going to spend this money. What would you advise? And spending can be investment. What would you advise? Saving or spending that money, and why?
I will never spend all the money. you don't put all your eggs in one basket, and you don't save your money, because saving, it doesn't do anything, especially here in the Netherlands, 0.08%. I mean, you don't get any returns when you put money on the bank, because the government has chosen to put the rent on the banks on 0.01%, or you have more than 300,000 euros on your bank, you are going to start paying the banks. So
Saving is
it's not an option, and spending always not. I will always take the middle way.
But my mom keeps telling me save.
They are trying to tell you, do not spend your money on useless things. That's what they are trying to tell you. They are trying to tell you, don't, have a big buffer so that you can do something big. That's what they're trying to tell you. But, Africans and communication.
Yeah, I mean, for years, this woman, save money, save. And then I keep telling her, Mom, I'm not going to earn money by saving the money.
No.
Because of my financial and economic background, like, no one is getting richer. If anything, you're actually getting poorer if you save money, because there's, inflation and stuff.
There is.
But she's like, save. So I'm like,
save a bit, spend a bit, invest a bit. That's what you need to do.
But what if you have this money, you have your miscellaneous, which is unforeseen stuff, but then you just have this basket of money, and it's, you either want to save or spend. There is no half. You just want to do something with it. What would you advise? Spend or save? It's critical.
You need to be disciplined enough to, when you're growing older and becoming an adult, and you don't have much to pay, as in bills. It is never wise to spend all your money, and it is wise to save the money if you do not know where to invest your money in. So first of all, you need to know which direction you want to go, because if you spend your money goes out and comes not back. It doesn't come back. It is one thing. So the way you spend 50 euros now, how you go about it now, is the same way you will go about when you are having 1 million on your bank account. Be disciplined. If you do not know which direction to go, save the money. Put it there. Maybe your mom thinks you don't know the direction yet.
Well, I mean, she wasn't right. I mean, she wasn't wrong. She wasn't wrong. So I'll definitely give that to her. But I mean, for me, it never made sense to save the money. But probably maybe I didn't have an effective way of saving money. You just mentioned discipline. Tell me the importance of discipline when it comes to saving.
So when you're having discipline, you have, for every kind of spending, you have a budget, and you have something where you can put your money in. Like, you have different kinds of pots you put your money. This is for paying bills, this is for spending, this is for investing. So you need discipline, because if you want to buy, for instance, a Woolrich jacket of 650 up to 1,200 euros, and your yearly basics on spending on clothes is 2,400, and you're with just 550 left, what is 100 euro, you will ask yourself. Let's just spend the money. Who cares? You live once. Those kind of things. But if you cannot train yourself to do it now, you will never be able to train yourself if you want to be an entrepreneur, or you want to be somebody great. Somebody great or somebody successful, as we were talking about in the beginning of this conversation, is somebody who is disciplined enough to make the same pattern month in, month out, month in, month out. This goes to investment. And the problem what we are having in our community, sometimes we want things too fast. My brother is doing it now, I need to be able to do it now. So what does he do? Instead of having 10 different budgeting groups of money, put all that money in one basket, and then bankruptcy. Then you're back. And then you have hit back to square one, and you're 40.
Yo, this is I'm taking this in. I'm having my personal financial consultancy consultancy session right now with Mrs. Meverly Benjamin. We'll we'll talk about habits because we have the theoretical part of this financial literacy, but financial literacy is actually a habit, and you touched on discipline. Discipline is something I have, so I should be good, right? But there are also a lot of habits that is refraining me or most people from achieving their financial goals that they set. But before we dive into that, before we go to that direction, we have some questions which is coming in on our Facebook.
Oh, okay.
So shout out to my Facebook listeners who are joined to the show live. I have Mena-ABA. Shout out to you. You commented, so which of them is better, save or invest? I think we touched on that one just now. So what would you say, Mrs. Meverly, Mrs. Benjamin? Saving or invest? Let's say you have an idea, you know what to do with the money, right? Would you still invest or would you still hold on to it?
I will invest, but not everything. You don't lay, like I said before, you don't lay all your eggs in one basket. It can get wayward because, when you're investing or when you're spending or you're saving, you need to have a SWOT analysis, the pro, cons, and the don'ts. You can't see it all rosary that it will all go well. No, that's not life. There is always something. There could always be, but you need to be able to fall back to that. And you can Google it. SWOT Analysis is most of the people know that one. Use that one in everything you're doing. And, see your household also as a company. Yeah. Will you save all your money? Will your company grow if you do that? No.
Is this in the book?
No, that's my third book.
Oh, that's your other book. Yeah, see your household as a company. Wait, people keep forgetting this. Marriage is a business. But I will talk about that on the next episode or something. We will get to it. So yeah, Mena-ABA, save or invest. Definitely save a bit, but also invest
a bit.
But once you have a goal or plan, suggest to actually invest a lot because it will probably give in a return.
Not everything.
Not everything, but some.
Yeah.
Okay. Obapa Dufie, shout out to you. Obapa Dufie is a loyal listener of our show. She says, "Wow, so powerful. The way money goes, you doesn't get it back easy." But she also wants to know, investing with a bank and investing online, which one is more better and safe?
What is online? What are you doing online? Online is quite a broad.
I think Obapa Difie, correct me if I'm wrong, but maybe online you mean with this, for instance, crypto, or I think cryptocurrency is.
I don't advise on cryptocurrency, but I will recommend a book of my Professor Andrew Haynes. He wrote a book about cryptocurrency. The way cryptocurrency can increase or can just drop down, I can't advise you. It can give you some heartburns. So I won't advise you to put all your money in Bitcoins. Most of the people who do put their money in Bitcoins or this virtual valutas, it's money they don't use. There's spare money that is lying there and they just put it in. So even if it doesn't go, does go wayward, it's worth investing. And next time around, I don't think you will do it again.
Yeah.
But investing in a bank, you need to know which direction the bank is also going. And
I would say actually investing in a bank takes so much more education. As in, you really have to know, all
where the bank is going to. Because, for instance, if you're gonna have your investment in a bank in a country that is not stable, don't, please.
And our Baba Dufi is actually, I think she's in Ghana.
Okay, don't.
Don't invest in a bank.
Don't invest. If you, I don't know if you have been following what is going on in Ghana currently with the banking systems. It's being renewed and all those kind of things, because there was a lot of money laundering going on, and now they have been lifted. There was a ban on Ghanaian banks because of their KYC, CDD, and anti-money laundering rules were not up to date. And now the ban has been lifted, but the economy in Ghana is not going well. So, for instance, if you do invest all your money, or you put your money in a Ghanaian bank at this moment, I'm not saying put your money under your bed, no, but do not put everything on one bank, because if the bank falls, we have this man's gold that failed. How are you tracing your money at this moment? He's walking around free. So be careful when investing your money in Ghana at current moments. I know the returns in Ghana are quite high. You know, yes, it is true. They're quite high, but the
risk is also
yeah, but that's what I mean. Our Ghanaians, we don't see like the risk. Oh, the returns are high, so we all go there. But have you also seen the risk that is involved? You need to weigh your options.
So Obapa Dufie, if you really want to invest, you ask the question: invest in a bank or invest online, namely probably crypto valuta. Then
I would rather invest my money in a fintech company or something that is upcoming and registered and approved by many world banks than invest in a bank. And before you invest in a bank in Ghana, check how their credit score is standing at moment.
Yeah. But I think most people who are looking for opportunities or place to invest in, they will not go this far for analysis of a company before investing.
And that's where you get.
They just probably look at the return rate, return on investment, and then it's like, oh, that's very high. Oh, wait, in how many years? Just 2 years? Okay, you know what? I'm gonna just go for it.
That's financial literacy. You need to read on things before you do something. That's what my book is about. Majority carries the way. Do you just follow as sheeps, or you use the wisdom and knowledge and by reading things, and don't invest in things like men's gold or something like that? So everybody invested in men's gold. Who got their money back? Was it the average Ghanaian? No. Okay.
Actually, those who have money.
Those who have money got their money.
Yeah. Oh man, good. Before we're about to end. Let's say enter into the last session of this conversation. So I'll give the listeners the time to send in their last questions, last comments for our financial consultant for today, Mrs. Meverly Benjamin. Before that, you know what? Let me just play one song and then. Just to give them some time to put their questions. Right, so we will be back with one song.
Keep your devices logged on Hiradio, the voice of the next generation.
Yes, and we're back with some more talk on this financial literacy. Mrs. Meverly Benjamin. Can I say Meverly? I can say Meverly.
Yeah, just
or
say
is
Meverly.
It Mrs. Benjamin?
It's actually Mrs. Twum-Barimah. Huh?
Mrs.
Twum-Barimah.
Oh man. Okay, so that's due to last December, due to December stuff. Okay. Well, so in closing, right? Let's touch on habits. The habits that we have that either discourages us or that limits our ability to be financially stable. One of the things that many times that we hear is it's actually in Dutch. Ik heb een gat in mijn hand. Or I have a hole in my hand. Can you help me? A hole basically meaning that money that comes in doesn't stay. Right? So what advice do you have for people having this problem?
For people having this problem, I will advise them to have a second account. Most of the times, people who say I have a hole in my hand is because they like to buy things. So yeah, buy, yeah. You know, when you spread your money, okay, this account is where all my bills are paid, the money is there. This account is for miscellaneous, this is for spending. If you put like €100 for a month on spending only, and you keep on buying luxury breads from the Albertine, at some point when you pay with a card and there is no money on it anymore, then you can't spend. But if all the money comes on one account, which is good, but then you spread it to various accounts or stuff, and you know, this is the card I have to buy food and clothes and chill with it. And it is €100 a month. I'm just naming a figure. It is €100 a month. And if it is finished, it is finished.
That's it.
That's discipline. Do this for 21 days and it becomes a custom.
So, yeah, the solution to I have a hole in my hand help is get yourself a bank account. Put a limit on it, as in this is the amount that is on this bank account or this card. That's the only card you take with you when you walk on the street.
Yes, and do not have Apple Pay connected
no
to
Apple
it.
Pay, not anything. This is the only card you carry with you, right? But this has to be the this doesn't have to be the account that money comes on from your work and this and that.
Yeah.
Please be mindful of that. All right. So this is a separate account just for spending.
Just for spending.
Just for spending, and this is the whole. So, there's no money coming in, so there's no money dropping out. Right? You have €100 on this. Exactly. So even if you want to go to the McDonald's, you go there, you swipe your card, it says beep beep beep, declined. You just go home, right? By the time you go home to get the other card and get there,
you won't go anymore.
Exactly. You're not going anymore. Your mom has already made food, or the hunger and the cry is gone. So I think that's a really good solution, actually. But let me say this. For me personally, I never had this thing of I want to have multiple accounts. So I don't have multiple accounts, but that let's say asks of me to be extremely disciplined with the money that I have, right? But so you would advise to get a second account.
You can have multiple accounts, or you can have on one account multiple savings. And then you put everything on your savings. So when all your bills are paid and the main account is empty, you put the money that you spent on the month on the main. On the main, yeah. On the main, and then you use it. Okay. But then, you know, because it is on your phone, what you would do, delete the app from your phone.
So you can't be putting money back.
And that's why it is actually best to have a second account, because it is like a drug. You would just activate the card just to get the money. You'll be like, for what for? I work hard for my money. Those are kind of excuses people will give to themselves.
Okay, good one. Another thing people get into is, for instance, what advice, would you give to, well, no, let me do this one first. We spoke about, getting to the age of 30, right? And then you get this marriage stuff. How does someone prepare for marriage?
Oh, I'm the wrong person to ask.
You're the wrong man? I mean, okay, you now. I mean.
How did I prepare, actually?
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't have a plan for that. That's why I'm the wrong person to ask.
You are giving me financial consultancy. No, I'm planning to get married in 3 years.
No. Okay.
I have zero savings.
Okay.
What would you advise me to do?
Have everything. You need to know how much you want to spend. Do you want a luxury kind of wedding?
No.
Do you want a budgeted wedding?
Yes.
So maybe you just want to spend max €10,000. Okay, 5,000.
Oh my goodness. Oh my god. Okay, yeah.
Oh, so you're only doing at home or something?
10,000. Let's say 10,000.
10.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yes, yeah, 10,000
Okay. So that's 3,333 a year.
a year.
So on monthly basis, we are approximately around 250 euros. Or
like that.
up to 300 euros. 300 euros
Yeah.
a month you need to put away for your wedding.
So that's it. So literally you would do your calculation and be like, hey, this is the amount you have to save up. You want to save up to. So start 250 a month in order to get there.
250.
Would you
up to 300.
say, what if I come with an opportunity? Or you know what? I found this opportunity to invest 2,000 now. And in 3 years that will be, I found the opportunity to invest 4,000 now. And in 3 years it's going to be 10,000. Would you let me do it or not?
What is it? What's the business?
The business is in NFTs, which is also the crypto stuff.
No, I won't.
No, you wouldn't.
You need to weigh the risk on crypto. There are so many risks because the returns are quite big. That is an upgrade of 6,000 euros.
Yeah.
You need
In
to
3
wait.
years.
Yeah, in 3 years. Will a bank give you 6,000 euros of rent? So that means the risks are very high. You cannot see it all on that side for like, I invest 4,000. Is it 100% sure you're getting 10,000?
No, of course not.
No,
Nope.
so it can also be minus.
Yeah.
Or zero. Or
Oh,
nothing.
zero. Yes, it's a risk.
No.
You wouldn't. No. You would advise me to save.
Save the money.
Save the money. So, Ms. Bapa Dufi, I think that also gives a good perspective, as in, if you have an investment opportunity and a savings opportunity, you know your goal. It's, save to be safe. But also, if you can invest, of course, look at the risk that comes with that. Our Facebook are flooding us with questions all of a sudden in comments.
A will, there's a way, so you will get there.
So Linda Chum is saying she's learning a lot. Don't thank me, thank our guest, Mrs. Meverly Benjamin. Find her on all socials. We'll give her link tree in a bit. Mabapa Dufie Donny, thank you so much. She just explained everything I need to know and understand. I feel the same way. Miss Meverly, thank you. Mrs. Meverly, thank you so much for your insight. Also, someone is saying that the money we get here in Euro is just hand to mouth. So how do we save and invest? And please, what are the best or good things to invest in? I think that it's even on that screen. If you want to read it for yourself. But so yeah, what are the best or good things to invest in actually?
First of all, let's tackle the hand to mouth thing.
Okay.
Yes, it is that most of the people we have hand to mouth ongoing, but salary was never meant for you to be established. It was meant to be hand to mouth.
You heard that? This is I'm going to write it down. Salary is always meant what? Hand to mouth?
Yes, because the definition of salary in Hebrew means just to sustain you. This is from also an educated pastor called Dr. Nyamiche.
Okay.
Michael Body Nyamiche. Yeah. Salary was never meant for us to be rich. It was meant for us to sustain us of paying our bills. And if you're lucky and you have a good salary, then you can save more. But if you have a good salary, you want to live to that standard of the salary, and that's where the problem lies. You need to live below the salary standard so that you get the money and invest the money into a business. As a believer or as a person, you do not always need to stay where you are. You need to grow in life. You need to become who you want to become. And I don't believe just by working hand to mouth is what you were called to do. Oh, that's unfortunate. Yes. No, you need to grow. So I believe
Right.
that you need to change your lifestyle. What is your biggest expenditure? Is that your house? Then okay, let's take it for that. Let's leave that. But most of the times when people are living hand to mouth is because they spend a lot on food or clothing. That's like research based. Food and clothing cost a lot. So how can I manage that and bring it back so that I will have money to save to invest in something so that it will be lucrative and I can grow out of the situation I'm having now? Because at this moment it seems like that you don't have any perspective, or you can't, because you're living hand to mouth, you can't even visualize things. So sometimes in my consultancy with clients, I don't only talk about their current situation. I listen a lot, listen until I give my final conclusions unto my client. What I also always advise, why, if you're good in this, why don't you register a company, grow and do it? The people who did follow my advice are doing well for themselves. So it is actually, how do you say that? Readjusting your budget and see how you can save up and get where you want to be.
Readjust your budget, see how you can save up and
get out of that situation of hand to mouth.
Yeah, this hand to mouth thing is really killing us. But maybe we became very dependent on our salary or hand to mouth. So that's the solution is live under the salary limit, or try to live under your salary as long as you can to build up that which will allow you to get to the next level, or allow you to either invest or allow you to either save up for those opportunities that may arise. But lots of that, also one of the big takeaways that I had from this session is the fact that you have to be disciplined. Be disciplined with your money, be disciplined with your plan and your time, right? And that's actually all financial literacy is about. That is about this. The only way you can actually prove or exercise your financial literacy is having that discipline to do exactly what you came up with. But it all starts with having this plan. When is the final question? When is the best time to do a plan? Do you do it at the end of the year, mid-year, or beginning of the year?
When we're already in the year, but if you're going into a new year, you have an end of book year, you look back to what the previous year has given you, what that has offered you, did you got your aims, or your goals met, etc., etc. In that same period, you write down all your goals, your aims, your visions for that coming year before you enter the new year, so that you work towards that in that year. That being done, you also have to have a 5 years plan there. Where do I want to be? Because you are always working to a bigger plan.
Bigger goal. Wow, amazing. I personally enjoyed this session a lot, and I think our listeners as well. There is definitely going to be another part of this. we're going to have a session. I'm going to call it sessions from now on. Consultancy sessions on marriage, where marriage is a business. That's what we're going to call it. Of course, we're definitely going to have a session on the formula to success, or and another one with how to get rich. Specifically, we're going to do a session on that too. Mrs. Meverly Benjamin, thank you so much. Where can we find you?
Yeah, you can find me on my website. Most likely we do sessions online now because we are taking all the measures into place with the coronavirus pandemic on off. So you can find me online on www.meverlyadjheibenjamin.com. Call me on 0687 278 428 or send me a business WhatsApp Facebook, Instagram, social media, Meverly Adjhei Benjamin.
LinkedIn,
LinkedIn.
Meverly Adjhei
Yeah.
Benjamin. All right, all of that. Definitely. GHKs, Donia, I've enjoyed this conversation so much. Please tell her in the studio again. All right. Thank you. Thank you so much. So yeah, I mean, good. It was good having you come to the studio and to have this conversation in person. And we look forward to your future endeavors. And of course, much of luck, much of success, much of fun on your PhD research.
Thank you.
And I'm one who is academic oriented, so I like to see what the results have been of your research. If you would be kind to share that with us on the show, I would love to have you over sometime.
Okay.
All right. So on that note, thank you guys for listening from wherever you are. Thank you so much for tuning in and listening to myself and Mrs. Meverly Benjamin sharing her great knowledge. Next week we'll not be here, but of course you can also always listen to our episodes on our podcast. Visit hiradio.nl. Check our YouTube where we have our shows or previous episodes on there as well. Post a link, like, comment, share our conversations with your friends. And if you have anyone or if you know of anyone who's doing great things, who has an amazing African story to tell or success to share with us, please also link them, like snitch on them. Tell on them. We would love to get in touch with that person and invite them for a conversation on this platform. On that note, have a lovely Sunday, and I wish you guys a lovely week next week. Thank you.